Punk Rock Basil Podcast.
Hey, we're live. Shut up. We're live. Shut the fuck up. We're live.
Shut up and do a podcast.
Anyway, hello. Welcome to the Punk Rock Basil Podcast, episode 366. I'm Otto, and I'm joined with Jared Schneiderman.
What up, guys?
Extremist Bab.
Hello.
And the wonderful Icky Pete.
What it goes.
Yeah, so today is a good friend of the show's birthday, Davey Parrish. So happy birthday, Davey, wherever you are. Not listening, it's fine. I don't blame you.
Is it his real birthday or the fake birthday he gave social media?
It's his real birthday. It's his real birthday.
All right.
I don't know. Who knows?
I was gonna hope.
So you just doxed. You just doxed one of our fans. Nice job, Otto.
Was it the fake birthday that he gave Social Security?
That's what happens when you get up to the $100 tier. We dox you.
Yes. That's what we do. Oh man, I'm drinking. I didn't realize this. I'm so annoyed. This is so annoying. Like I went to the liquor store. They didn't have any of the good beers I wanted.
Damn.
And I was like, fuck. So I just went over to Flying Dog, where they sell Flying Dog. And I saw like they had this new cranberry lime sour. And I'm like, oh, that sounds pretty good. Like it's 6.8%. I'm like, oh, fuck yeah. I'm just going to get it. I'm like 6.8%. It's called, it said like Vic. I didn't even look at the title. I just saw it at 6.8% and I got it. And I got to the register and I'm like, oh man, yeah. When I saw this, I was like, I just had to try it. And he kind of gave me like a weird look. And I was like, whoa, you just might not like sours, whatever. So then I get home and I crack one open as we're about to do this. And I look at it and it's Victoress and it has a woman on the front, like a silhouette of a woman. And it says an all-woman brewed beer. I'm like, what?
Is it like did they like use special yeast or something? What exactly does that mean?
So
what, is this a brewery owned by all women?
No, it's Flying Dog, which is owned by a guy.
It's brewed with the essence of woman.
Yeah, the essence.
So what you're saying is you're officially woke now, Otto.
I know. I probably look like such a fucking hipster. I'm wearing this hat.
I mean,
and I'm just going up there, and I'm like, "Oh yes, an all-woman brewed beer, yes, please."
I'd like that, or just I'd like that coochie IPA. You know, like what?
Wait, did we screen cap it when he actually had the beer up? We screen cap it with the beer actually up, and then we'll just put the lower third hipster douche waffle up there for him.
That's hot. That's totally hot. Oh, yeah, I like the idea of like women slaving in the brewery, getting all
moist,
getting all worked up and brewing.
From sweat, guys. Just from sweat.
All of a sudden, this became a porno.
I know. And so I'm just like, oh man, I look like such like a woke hipster fucking God. I was like, maybe I am a hipster douche waffle. Maybe I am. Maybe this.
Well, how does it hold up as a beer? Does it need a special designation as
no.
woman? Like, hey, give it a chance, guys. That it's a woman doing the best she can. Is that what they're trying to say? Or, I mean,
I don't know, man. I feel like he might have been looking at you for other reasons.
Oh, I'm reading the description. Let's read this description.
What's this,
It says produced. Oh my God! Produced by the empowered ladies of Flying Dog Brewery. Ooh. This fruited kettle sour is packaged with cranberry, lime, and delicious girl power.
That's the essence we were talking about.
That's the period.
Yeah, right. Like Gwyneth Paltrow was involved. Like,
yeah, it's got.
I mean, this is the same brewery that made their names selling Raging Bitch, right?
Yes, I know.
They've got to repent for their sins.
Is this their penance?
The last thing it says in here is, "Who run the world? Yeah, you know."
Ugh. Look what Alex has to say.
So, well, speaking of Flying Dog,
waiting for the game to start.
So,
they also do the pearl necklace. Yeah,
it's a girl on girl beer.
So Alex and I, we were actually in Frederick where they brew Flying Dog, and I had like seven. I think Alex bought me like 7 truths. Me and Alex, I went to my first live show last night since the pandemic happened. There's this cool cafe. It's called Cafe 611 in Frederick, and Madball was playing there with this death metal band called Suffocation. And I just wanted to go live show. It was like last minute too. I knew that they were coming around, but I didn't know what the date was, and I saw like a sponsored ad on Facebook for it, and I was like, oh shit, that's coming up on Saturday. And I was like, Alex, man, we gotta go. He's like, fuck yeah.
How many masks did you have to wear?
None. No masks. No mask, no vax passport, nothing.
Did the
believe
band
you're still
complain at
alive.
all?
Yeah, how did you survive, Otto?
I know. And I'm hanging by on a thread. Actually, I'm really
You got those
fucking sore.
antibodies. That's what it is.
I'm really sore. I don't know if you guys saw the Facebook last night, or in the Facebook and the Twitter, we were all kind of putting off. Me and Alex were just shooting off pictures and videos of the set. It was man, it was fun.
Did you hop into the pit?
Yeah, I wasn't going to, and then
did Alex end up punching people in the face that were wearing masks?
Did you guys get to hurt people like you wanted?
Yes, I did. Yeah.
Yay!
It was great. Oh man, it was so because Madball already. We talked about this before in the set, but Madball is from New York City, and they refuse to play any venue that has a vaccine passport. So they're done playing New York City, and even during the set last night, he's like, "I'm not happy with New York right now." And he was like, "Fuck the government." I was like,
nice.
Fuck yeah. Like, that rock. I was like, that's pretty fucking cool. So, no, oh man, I got so fucking drunk. I don't know what it was, but I think this is it's a black owned business because everyone worked there was black.
Wow, dude, you're really on the woke patrol now, dude. Black owned business, female brewed beer. Like, wow, man.
I know. Is this gonna put your Mises Caucus credentials in jeopardy?
Dude, I'm not telling
you. Know what it is? You know what it is gonna do? It's gonna elevate his social credit score a bit. That's nice.
Right. Oh shit, the fakertarians are gonna love me. God,
I mean,
yeah,
look
but
at
now,
look at
but
the
you know
color
what?
brown of that hat.
Oh, yeah,
it's decidedly like Chinese brown.
I was going to say it's got that like
Was
communist
that the Star Wars
look
hat?
to it.
Look,
It does look like it's like a
hat.
communist worker's cap.
Yeah, I love it. It's so cool. I saw
you
it
have
on
a
his
Mao
website.
poster.
It's like I'm such a douche. I gotta have it. I'm such a hipster douche waffle. No, I'm actually. Hold on. Wait, I got my Star Wars hat right here.
Oh, that's what I thought it was for a second.
No, this is my.
I was
Star
like,
Wars
no, it's not as
officer.
gay as that one.
You know what? That I see that, and I want to reach through the screen and force choke you. You know, like it's.
So no, I'm sticking my captain hat tonight.
Why not just go with the bald?
Oh no! Have you seen it? No, thank you.
Yeah, I just saw it for a
Yeah,
split
you
second.
literally
Look at this.
sorry.
Look at that. Oh, it's awful. I know. I see it every day.
The worst is
Yeah,
when it's like trying to peek through.
Yeah. But last night was fun. I feel, speaking of being old, like I physically feel it because my back hurts, my hip hurts, my ankles hurt, just everything hurts. It was rough. I was getting like, yeah. Me and Alex, I don't know how Alex is today, but Alex is going hard too. It was fucking fun.
So was this the show where you realized you're old?
Yeah. I realized I'm also really fat, so I don't. It could be either
For me, it was
or.
Real Big Fish a couple years ago.
Is this because I'm old or because I'm fat? That's something I'm facing on a daily basis too.
Oh, shut up.
Yeah.
So I went and saw Real Big Fish probably about 7 or 8 years ago. That's when I realized I'm getting old because somehow their fan base is still 15 years old.
What?
And
what group?
Real Big Fish. Like
Ska
somehow, like you'd expect it to just be old guys trying to relive when we were 15. No, dude, their fan base is still 15. I don't know how it is. Like I was talking to some girl in the back thinking like, oh God, it's just weird, seeing it. We're getting old. She's like, my son's out there. This bitch has no idea who she's here with seeing. It's just a band her son wanted to see. And here I'm like trying to like have a moment and reminisce about the old days. And I'm like, oh,
wow.
Shut the fuck down.
Damn.
I thought you were going to say she was 15 years old.
Right. The mom went just to keep the daughter protected from old weirdos like you that go to shows.
We had Real Big Fish play at our at my college in 2000. I want to say 8, maybe 7.
No way,
dude. It was fucking awesome.
They're awesome, and they still play like tour religiously.
Wait, this isn't Fish. This is
this is a good band. Yeah.
Okay, I just see. I'm that old that I don't. Neither registers.
It's
right?
a ska band. It's a ska band. They're fun.
I have seen both of those bands.
They had like a, I think it was a trumpeter. A black trumpeter that wore like a Confederate flag hat.
Edgy.
He might have been the trombonist.
Is he doing the rusty trombone on you? Is that was?
Oh, good one.
That
Phil.
sounds pretty fun. I mean, ska bands are fun. Why not?
Yeah.
Well, it was just I couldn't keep up with the energy of it anymore. That was like the real moment. Like, God, I am old and fat, and I cannot skank for the life of me anymore.
I was like, it was like that meme that went around last year. It's probably been on for longer than that. But the one it was just like, yeah, ska music is the best music for Halloween because it's upbeat and it's dead. I'm like, yeah, well.
Wait, what is the Andy Sandberg meme from what is it? Brooklyn Nine-Nine, where he's like, ska will never die.
Scott, oh, I don't know. I haven't seen that one.
Oh, dude, so it's because it just shows him like back in the day with like the checkerboard straps and the sunglasses.
Man, I needed last night. It felt fucking good, man. It was. I'd never gotten drunk at a show before. I've only just
what?
I've only had like a beer or two at a show before. But the most of the time when I was going to shows back in the day, I was
it's usually like heroin and crank and
yeah, you weren't drunk. You were just like blitzed out of your skull.
Yes, that is true.
Freaking
rolling your face off,
puff and glue. You know,
you guys were there. Like I didn't realize you were there.
Yeah, I was the one who gave you the glue.
I was giving you whippets.
Oh God!
Oh man, I was the whippet plug.
Yep. So it was fun.
Drummer who used to be his thing. He worked at my old drummer, and I don't remember which band it was off the top of my head, but his things he worked at like a porn store, and they sold whippets out of the back.
Naturally.
And like that's
where else are you going to get your whippets at the whipped cream store? No,
and that's how he met that's how he met his second wife, because she was one of the strippers that came in there regularly.
Wow,
for whippets or for.
I don't know.
Like
probably crystal meth, but
okay.
Was it like a porn?
I've seen you before here, haven't I?
Was it a porn store attached to a strip club?
So like out here, like all of the porn stores are attached to truck stops.
Right, makes sense.
Because we live in like the middle of nowhere. Like you put them where the truckers.
You got to beat that meat.
Yeah, exactly. Well, they all have like the back room, like the private viewing rooms and stuff like that.
Disgusting.
Hell yeah. Hey, don't knock it till you try it.
You got a truck, bro. Just do it in the truck.
Truckers got the life, man. That's awesome.
You don't got to
just riding around the country, jerking off in porn stars.
Well, but you got to remember how many of those guys own their trucks, and how many of them are like the companies, and they have a bunch of cameras in them watching everything you're doing.
Well, you can always pull an Adam Kokesh if you have to.
Yeah, maybe that's why he did it. Yeah, we'll never know.
The world may never know. Actually, we could ask him. You know, we could do that.
Get him on the show. Ask him to his face.
What's he doing?
You guys want to get Adam on the show? That might be fun.
We've had him on before.
Right,
yeah.
Cool. What's he doing? I think he's like
always down
running
for
a weed farm.
Publicity.
Oh yeah. I think he's running like a weed farm in Texas or some shit.
Oh, I'm glad to hear he's found some kind of productive work there. That's awesome.
I haven't seen him since that video he posted shirtless with a chainsaw. Chopping
that was Putin. No, that was Putin.
What was he doing? He was chopping up what?
He was chopping down a tree in the desert.
Okay.
Shirtless. And it was just like a very like Adam Kokesh kind of video to make. I don't even remember what he was promoting. Just that like he was shirtless for no reason.
Well,
I guess that's what you do in the desert. You just take off your shirt.
I don't know. I think there's a lot of like cactuses and sun and rattlesnakes.
Personally, all things I want
scorpions
between me.
Yeah, like I'm just thinking like I'm gonna just keep my shirt on. Like but to each their own.
Is scary.
You know, he's probably more physically fit than us. So, you know, go for it.
Oh God, so I'm just
sore. Except for Otto.
So fucking sore. Yeah, I couldn't.
Otto is the peak health.
Yeah,
yeah.
You might not like it.
You might not like it. This is what peak performance looks
form, like. Yeah. Yeah, I'm definitely not, man. I'm hurting so bad today. So I'm actually contemplating because all right. So there was a few people wearing masks there at the show. whatever. But no, hardly anyone was.
Did Alex punch all of them?
Yeah.
I was gonna say, how many elbows did you
They
get
get
in
punched.
the pit?
No,
Oh,
they
like, can you
actually
imagine like the blood coming through the mask after they get punched in the nose? Like, oh,
Do you
that's
like
gross.
purposely like lock on them in the pit or no?
They weren't in the pit. That's the thing. And it's funny because this one guy was
Big
wearing a mask.
surprise.
One
Big
guy, he pulled
surprise.
his mask down and then it was like jumping in the pit. And then he went back to the back wall and then he put his mask up.
Well, yeah, he's got
I
to
don't-
send the signal. He's got to send the signal out.
Right. I guess. Dude, it was bizarre. I'm like, all right, whatever. I don't have time. This was just too fun of a night. I'm not going to go into depth with that. And I was like, I'm just going to let
Well,
that be.
I'm glad you didn't punch people just because they had a mask on.
No. I did stage dive. That was fun. There was no stage. There was just like it was like a little like 6-inch platform that they were playing on.
Did
I just-
people did they catch you or did you fall
No,
into the ground?
I anticipated
Did
no
you-
one would catch me. So
I was going to
went
say there were like
forward.
7 crushed kids like on the dance floor.
I wasn't gonna be the one to point
Damn.
it out, but
the first
was
responders
the
were
venue?
deployed.
Call
What was the
it,
venue?
Cafe 611.
Cafe.
Everyone's
oh, right, you
expected
told
to
me.
have a
Wait a
full
minute, wait a minute.
recovery.
wait, you said it was all black owned
It was a black-owned business. It had to have been.
and not Arab owned.
Black.
Wait, why do you say it had to have been? Like, what were there,
Because
like
everyone was
African
act-
statues everywhere or something?
No,
Were they acting in a
because the whole
certain way?
The whole staff.
Like,
No.
the entire staff was black.
Yeah, and I think Alex even I think he asked and they were like, yeah, or something like that. I don't know. I was so drunk.
I was gonna say because that's like saying every Italian restaurant in New York City that's entirely staffed by Mexicans must be a Mexican-owned restaurant.
Exactly.
No, it's just like higher in the area.
Okay. All right. So now you're just being racist to assume that they wouldn't be the owners.
No,
You think black people can't own a club? Fucking racist.
Wait, this was in
they own
DC?
A lot of very wealthy clubs.
No,
was
this
this
is in
in D-
Frederick. This is
Oh,
in
Frederick. Right.
Yeah,
right.
Frederick. Not the
We had a black
most
owned
diverse
business in
place, yeah.
Frederick. That's interesting.
and it's not the most diverse town in Maryland.
No.
so-
Well, are they really black if they're in Frederick? Is that the question we have to ask next? What's our line? What's our
Ooh.
line here?
Well, did they support Biden? I guess that's really the only question to.
Yeah,
that'll
I don't know,
differentiate
but they
them
were
at this
like-
point.
they're very low key at advertising, and I think they just kept everything kind of like don't no
Good.
in and out.
Just-
you can go like
right. Just have fun and shut up.
right,
Yeah.
Yeah.
right. That was fucking. It was
That's
fucking
my motto.
Cool as shit.
Just have fun
So-
and shut up.
So there's another. So all right. So there's another band playing at the Auto Bar in Baltimore on Monday, and
Uh-oh.
like you need to get tested to get in, or have a vaccine card, or you have to
Or show them your
and-
swollen testicles.
Yeah, and you have to wear a mask. And I'm so tempted to go to the show.
And not do
Why?
any of this.
There's just because I'm so curious. I want to see what it's like because there's just no way. I want to see. For all I know is they could just not be really checking at the door. They're just signaling.
Dude, they're definitely
just signaling to the
definitely
world.
gonna check. Trust me. I went to
know.
Auto Bar for trivia, which was outside, and they still wanted you to wear a mask.
Oh, fuck.
And they
off.
were
You know,
yelling and they were like if you got up from your table to go like hand in your trivia thing, like your answer or whatever, you had to wear a mask. And they were yelling at people.
Yeah. Hell no.
What?
Absolutely
I'm telling
not.
you, that's
These people,
it's going to be
these
like
people
that.
need to go out of business. Anybody with that attitude just needs to be ridiculed, mocked, and laughed out of the marketplace. That is pathetic.
And it's a very woke establishment, but at the same time, though, it's a business. So that's why when was this? When was this trivia thing we went to?
I mean, that one was. I mean, last time we went was probably like I don't know. I want to say like 4 months ago, maybe three or 4 months ago. Yeah, it was recent. It was like post like. It was like Delta variant times, like, you know.
What
So-
was this, 4 months? No,
Like
that
it was after when everyone like admitted like, oh, like you can't get the thing outside. Like being outside, you're fine. You don't need to wear a mask. They're still after that point. They were still making people wear masks outside.
Yeah. Well, that's what Tired Hands Brewery used to be one of my favorite breweries in Pennsylvania.
Mm.
Wanted you to wear a mask to pick up your pre-ordered beer that is like on the sidewalk, on an empty sidewalk. You prepay through the app. They leave it there, and you can go and grab it, okay, and then scurry away quickly, right? If you wear a mask, Okay. And I'm like, no, I'm not doing that. And they wouldn't sell me the beer. I'm like, all right. You know, like, screw it. I'll go to another brewery. You know, it's like,
there was at the beginning of COVID for last year, Heavy Seas Brewery right by my house. They had this thing where like you weren't allowed to get out of your car. You'd pick up your beer and you'd have to pop open your trunk. Like, this is what the instructions said on the website. Pop open your trunk and we'll place it in there. And you have, like, I guess they said we recommend you wear a face mask in your own car when you go to
while they open your trunk.
Yeah.
Please hold your breath for the duration of your visit. For the courtesy of our other guests who,
when my wife was delivering groceries for one of the apps, and that was something that they required that they do at a lot of the places for the delivery personnel. Like, you pop the trunk, you stay in your vehicle, wear a mask, and we don't talk to each other.
Oh God. Yeah. Well,
so it's like you're doing a drug deal, dude.
It's like the great reset. This is the great reset. You know, they're like, don't see one another. Don't talk. Have you guys ever heard of Graderford Prison in Philly? It's this, I think that's the right name for the prison, unless I'm mixing it up. But there's this, it's an old prison that was modern like 100 years ago, where they had a system designed where no inmate would see another inmate.
Yeah, the panopticon.
Yeah, it's like this weird spoke.
But there was a guard.
Thing.
Yeah, there was a guard in the middle that could see everybody, but none of the prisoners could either see the guard or other prisoners. So they never knew if they were being watched.
Well, no. Well, my understanding was that they just didn't want any kind of relationship between inmates formed. Even when they put your food through a slot, it was like a double slot, so nobody could peek out and see another person during this, right? And this, like, keeping everybody separated was this philosophy, and maybe that's what they're trying to do now.
Separate but equal.
Just don't talk to each other. Don't form any kind of human bonding. Don't smile. Don't reveal your emotions. Just be this faceless automaton and obey and shut up. Like, what the hell is
James,
this?
you don't want your cattle getting any ideas. Just sit there and chew your cud.
Right. Put the blinders on, put the muzzle on, put, whatever it takes. Keep, just shut up and be a good farm animal.
Here's the pills that make your tits swell up. So you do what we need you to do. And there we go.
Well, now there have been some rebellious farm animals lately in Australia. So do we have that video? This was like, we should have led the show with this. This was like some freaking good news. Some of the best video I've seen in a long time. You guys know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah, some of these Australians finally realize there's more of them than there are of the fucking cops and fucking fascists that run that damn country. So I was pretty fucking funny. It warmed my heart. It did. It warmed my heart watching this.
Warmed the cockles.
Yeah, my cockles was warm.
I don't know if you got the video, Jared.
Wait, sorry, which video?
The rioting Australians.
Oh yeah.
I think the world was kind of wondering, like, Australia, when are you going to start beating the shit out of these tyrants that are just humiliating you down there? Now, I mean, we're used to getting humiliated here in the U.S. and in Canada. Okay, fine, but Australians, you're supposed to be able to handle like crocodiles and poisonous snakes and hordes of frogs, and God only knows what other horrors exist in your country. Like, to be pushed around like that by those weak ass politicians was so embarrassing.
I in kind of a tangentially related story, I actually had a guy get a hold of me this week from the UK and asked me to take down an episode of my old podcast he did with me because he's concerned about like losing his gigs.
Wow.
He should come on this show.
And he was he's pretty mild politically.
Do you guys hear that?
No, we can't hear this video. God bless you.
Hold on.
Is there a way to get it bigger or do a full screen or on the screen
it's not
share?
great resolution, but we'll give it a shot. Here, give me a second.
So we might have to narrate this a little bit for our listeners.
This is something to celebrate.
This is where the sixth cop is murdered.
Just start playing. Someone should play this video to like the sound of like Cop Killer by Body Count.
It's weird. Raining in blood just kept coming over it was like magically from the sky.
All right, Jared, you started the video all the way through.
All right, let me start from the beginning here.
What's up?
Yeah, the beginning is the.
There's a lot of angry Australians right now. I don't know what's going on, but yeah, like they're just running through this line of cops, just like, and there's this one guy that they slow it down, and you'll see this guy. He's just going from cop to cop and like knocking him out,
like a professional rugby player.
Did any cops make the ultimate sacrifice during this?
Can we see the beginning of this clip? Because when it begins, there's a blast of pepper spray, and then this line is just charged, and it's epic.
All the way. Oh, here we go.
There it is.
Oh, fuck you. Fuck you.
Boom. Now, towards the end, if I recall, you can see somebody get de-arrested.
Yeah,
like this is cool. They've got somebody towards the end of the video. Somebody's detained on the lower left, and then there's a scuffle, and you see the guy escape and limp off.
Yup.
Now I'll give respect to one cop if I see it, and it's the guy who tries to set that line up again. Gotta be some pretty big balls.
Yeah, right here.
See
this guy's right there.
Boom.
Yep.
Like, what's happening there?
And he's limping away.
He pulled the guy away from the cops, I guess.
Nice. Yeah, that was great.
Oh.
There's some sort of way about that.
Oh my.
Dude, Spike
says
all the time, you are the power. They're right there.
You know that
run over cops.
The Stanford prison experiment?
In my
yes. Oh yeah.
That Stanford prison experiment's been running for like 250 years in Australia, like unchecked. Like just all these prisoners and guards have been on this weird island like continent, like just I guess torturing each other like for hundreds of years now. And this is the latest stage. So kudos to those dudes. What about the close-up scene? Do we have that one of the rugby player hero?
Let's see if I can track that one down.
I want this guy to come on the show. So, guys, whoever let's use our contacts.
I think this might
reach out if you know anybody that knows that guy. Just
I think this might be it. Go back to the beginning.
Yeah. This is it. So just everyone watching, just watch this guy. Watch the guy. He goes from cop to cop. Just this guy. Boom. Fuck you. Oh.
Nice. Then he's like, "I'm out, bitch."
He just shoulder spins that guy.
But he goes back. Look, he gets another cop right here.
Oh, what a hero!
Like he's got professional training.
Hold on, we gotta watch this shit again.
I don't know what music is so loud.
That cop had a baton. He had to hit him.
Yeah, that music was a little much. Oh my god!
I like the epic soundtrack, but
dude, it's like
in the background.
He's just looking for anything with yellow and just charging it like a fucking matador, or I guess a bull to a matador.
Looks like to me that dude has some training. I don't know if it's a
rugby
player
fucking arms
as a combatant. That dude could be like serious like Army Special Forces or something. Like I don't know.
You know what it really looks like to me, James? That guy was having a good time, and I'm a little jealous.
I don't know the way he's able to like take people down. It looks very methodical. And
the one cop, he legit like Stone Cold Steve. No, it's Bill Goldberg speared the guy, like grabs him by the legs and just takes him down. It was beautiful. It was like pro wrestling in the 90s.
Well, nice job, Australia. Finally, like now, of course, here we're, it's even worse here. People just love the abuse here, but maybe this will inspire people here.
Maybe. We shall see.
There's a lot more of us than there are of them.
That's true.
Here, though, See, I don't think they're going to use these kind of tactics though. Here they've got the propaganda. They've got neighbors turning on neighbors. They don't need to have this like police force try to do it. Like we've got an army of Karens deployed.
So here's a question: what do you guys take it of? Like, say the what's her name? It was just had made that video talking about like secession. Tits McGee a comedy. Silverman.
Oh, Sarah Silverman, that fucking wretched.
Well, Sarah Silverman, who talked about peaceful breakup of the United States recently, and like actually breaking into 3 or 4 different nations.
Oh, I thought in start
her smugness. She was like she's the first one to ever think of that. We're like, bitch,
listen,
your terms are acceptable. Your terms are acceptable.
In Star Trek Voyager, she was really spunky. Okay,
she was in Star Trek Voyager.
You did, yeah.
I didn't know that.
She played this spunky girl in the like spunky astronomy girl when they went back in time.
A Star Wars hat. I'm not a Trekkie, right?
I mean, I genuinely think of spunk when I think of her, but you know.
But hey, you know what? So what if she's coming to? If an idiot comes to secession, all the better, right? Like.
Well, no, it wasn't even so much the secession thing, because you get the impression a lot of those people think that we're gonna secede, and then they're going to like go to war with us and take us over.
Yeah, I mean, like they did last time.
So yeah, that was Alex's mistake.
Alex specified like peaceful resolution and like being allies.
We went to this meeting. This I think we talked about it before here on the show. Me and Alex, we went to this. It was put on by a bunch of these Republicans, and they were talking about the evils of socialism. And so I was like, I have to go to this. Yet they all stood up and did the Pledge of Allegiance right before the thing. I shit you not.
They always did.
So bad. So one of the things, so Alex started talking about secession to these people. Like, so he's talking to this woman from the Balkans. He's like, we need to Balkanize. And everyone in the audience is like, what? Like, because you're like, no, not that. Like, peaceful.
Didn't you hear us say indivisible? We actually just said that at the beginning of the meeting. So shut up. Like, we just all took an oath to indivisible. So
some guy said that.
You.
Some guy corrected Alex. He was like, according to the Constitution, you can't be a separate country. You can only join another state, and like you don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, that guy's a fucking moron. That is, I know. So many places where you're allowed to.
He's this guy that I think he's gonna blow up an abortion clinic. Like he's a fucking crazy guy. He was the one warning me. He was warning me of the Muslims in the government. I'm like, okay, you're either a Fed or you're gonna blow up an abortion clinic. Get out of here, dude.
There's only 2 options. There's only 2 ways that could go. You're either a Fed or a future actual terrorist.
Well, wait. Why is that a separate thing? I imagine that it's the Feds blowing up the abortion clinics anyways.
I mean, that's entirely possible.
Got to develop the boogeyman.
No, the Feds don't rock like that. They would never do that.
Well,
I'm just kidding.
You know,
oh, speaking of Feds, did you see the pictures that came out of the J6 rally or whatever the fuck?
That was like all right.
Well, I gotta find this.
Let me talk about this. I knew from the beginning. I knew from the beginning this is a fucking setup, because
everybody
we had a Duncan Lemp protest here in Maryland, put on by an anonymous source. We're like, this has got to be a Fed thing. They want us to show up so they can arrest us, whatever. And I was like, I'm not going to this. But a few other guys I know went to it, and they went to it, and no one was there. There was nobody there, which we're like, that's weird. So they left and they went to a restaurant to go eat. I forget what restaurant it was. And a reporter walked up to him and said, "Oh, you guys are here for the protest?" And they're like, "How did you know that? We didn't even go there." And it was like, it was totally set up. So this had the same writing, like it had the same feelings behind it. This stupid J6 liberation thing. That's the meme I posted. There's a bunch of bro dogs at the Capitol.
They all have like fucking police haircuts.
Yeah.
And they're like kind of, and they're all wearing like chubby
sunglasses. Yeah.
I want to point out who shared this meme though, which is
Michael. What's up? Why do you hate Michael Tracy?
No, Michael Tracy is like a raving leftist. So like the fact that we're getting
he's kind of like
he's kind of
I don't know. He was kind of Yeah, I don't know if he's a raving leftist, so really.
Oh no, historically, historically he is. That's
but I think
we found ourselves in this place where these people are kind of, maybe they're not where we are, but they're at least this is all.
Well, I noticed during Trump, this guy was like one of the ones who was like, the left's fucking insane.
Yeah. But I mean,
did you see Jim Bovard had some pictures? Yes. He went down there and he took some pictures of like Code Pink, who's like, now like Code Pink is to protest for the federal government, right? Like they're there to support Congress and get these people. Awful. Yeah, like remember when Code Pink used to be like protest with the horrors of government? Like that's kind of what I remember them doing.
Code Pink, they did some pretty shitty things, but they also did some really good. They had the protest that I was what was that? It was in DC.
Back in my Green Party days.
Oh, it was at the Venezuelan embassy when they were invited by the old government to come in and kind of squat there because they were and they couldn't be removed because when the new government took over or what, that the United States recognized, they're like, you have no power here, like you can't come in and tell these people to leave. So it was like this weird thing, and it was at the protest. I was like, dude, like that was put on by Code Pink, and I was like, that was fucking awesome. But they also did some really dumb shit, and I'm pretty sure they're just being used. So it was funny because at this Ford Fisher of News to Share,
right on.
He was there. He saw apparently what looked to be a guy. Someone noticed a guy had a gun, and they went, or the police noticed this guy had a gun. Someone noticed he had a gun.
Oh, no.
So they ran to him.
This is great.
So they ran to this guy. The police came up to him like, are you armed? Whatever. And so Ford has this all on video, and they're asking him, are you armed? He's like, yeah, I'm a cop. And they're like, what? He's got this. He's at the protest, and he's got a mask on, glasses, and they were like, show me your credentials. And he pulls out his credentials, and they're looking at it, and they're radioing in, and all these riot cops surround this guy, and they're like, okay. And you hear him talking there. Okay, all right, yeah. Okay, come. You got to come with us. And so they remove him. They don't put him in handcuffs. They don't arrest him. They just escort him off the property. So they ask him, "Are you working undercover?" And he's like looking, like you could tell, like he's all nervous.
Not
and he
anymore.
goes,
"No, it's just a hobby, sir."
Right. So the feds didn't tell the Capitol Police who that guy was. That's what happened.
Hilarious.
Right.
Of course.
He was fucking we knew this was going to happen. And so now.
Well, he didn't get a chance to fire his gun into the ground, though. So that's good, right?
So the Washington Post had some snarky fucking article about how, it was not well attended because they were these crazy Trumpers are paranoid, thinking that there's government agents running or infiltrating their group.
And yeah, there
and all these other fucking leftists are saying, see, this guy, he said he wasn't undercover. He said it, so therefore he wasn't. You're just paranoid.
Then what was he?
He's right.
He's
right. Just a regular part-time rioter who happens to be a cop, right? Like it's just a coincidence. He's there for legitimate rioting, okay? Like it says nothing to do with his job. Just believe it.
Oh man, yeah. I was so, because I knew this was coming. I'm like, well, that's just gonna be packed full of feds, and it's literally the best memes of the fucking. Oh man, like there's so many good ones. They're like, it showed that picture that we just posted of all those feds standing around, and it has like the thing that says "Show you're not a robot," the CAPTCHA, and it says fill in the dots where the feds are, and it's like in grids. Oh, it's right. Amazing. Oh god,
and literally everybody.
So many good ones. Yes.
And so what happened? So what happened? Did they breach the Capitol again? Like,
no.
What happened?
They put on this.
Was there insurrection part 2?
Well, the pretty much what happened was they tried to make this a show. They were trying to make this a thing.
Yeah,
you could just tell the media was just itching to make this a thing. They wanted so many people, and then the Washington Post even plotted the route map. Like it was like on their page, their Facebook page. They had on the article's picture was a map of where the protesters would be. Kind of like that's the dog whistling. That's the hey Antifa, go there, beat the shit out of these people, and fucking we'll film it and we'll get access for it and start selling the shit out of some papers. Like that's all that was. That's all that was. That you talk about dog whistling, that's a fucking dog whistle. Dude, this fucking government's so fucking stupid, and it's getting worse and worse and worse. And I'm just, I knew it was gonna
more
happen.
and more blatant and more obvious.
Yes.
Like they don't even. I mean, they used to put on an effort when they were trying to bullshit us. I just feel like we're just
now they just want to come and go instead of buying you dinner.
Could you just
first.
try? Could you at least pander? Could you give some lip service? Could you? You
Honestly,
don't just
though,
come out and say like they don't just come out and say fuck your freedom. Now they're just
honestly,
fuck freedom.
I think they've always been this bad though, because like I think the thing now is you have the internet.
That's true.
Like look at Ruby Ridge. Like if Ruby Ridge happened today, and like that shit was on video, like somebody caught that on fucking camera.
His son would have been live streaming it the whole time.
Yeah. Like you would have seen how sloppy and fucking stupid these people are. But no, instead it was before mobile cameras, and
it would have been the kid and the mom crying in the house, and you're just watching bullets whiz by, and
and you just see how stupid, how stupid the whole fucking thing is. But
I know this. You're right. I think that there's less room for them to hide. I guess when it comes to dealing with public things like this. Like they're good when it's behind the scenes and no one cares when they're toppling some dictator to install their dictator.
Right.
No, and no one really cares about that. But shit like this on American soil with all the media around, and just the fact that like Ford Fisher's just there, and he runs over to the cop that's talking to the other cop, pointing at this guy, saying, "Guy, white glasses. He's like right over there. He's got a gun. Like guy over there." And like they all run and so then Ford's running back to go film it. It's just so obvious, and it's just
so
right
Ford
there.
Was the one that snitched on the cop?
No. He like the video starts. He's over at like the line, the barricade, and there's one cop talking to a clearly like a supervisor, pointing over. And he says, "Guy," from what I remember, he says he was "Guy, white glasses, right over there." And then Ford immediately runs over to where the guy is standing, and then that's when all the riot police officers, surround this undercover Fed, and they start talking to him. So Ford's just recording the whole thing, but it was just so obvious. It was so out in the open and blatant. This guy looked like a Fed too. It's not like he was some guy.
But you're not implying that Ford was in on it, are you?
No.
Okay.
No. Why would I? Why? I'm just saying.
I don't know. I'm just trying to understand your point here.
He's there. He just saw it. He saw the whole thing unfold. Where before, like we're saying, like at Ruby Ridge, there was no one. There was no Ford Fisher around.
Yeah, there's no Ford.
Well, if Ford had been there, that he would have been shot at Ruby Ridge.
That's probably. And he would have had his footage stolen from him, like if he was there in Dallas and when Kennedy got shot.
Oh damn!
Like all those other people, they got.
Yeah, Ford Fisher deserves a definite shout out. I didn't know that, and I've been a fan of Ford for a few years now. Like awesome. So, yeah, he's just. I mean, it's he definitely takes an interest in this sort of left versus right street war phenomenon that's been taking place. Like, it's kind of weird, but he's there covering it all the time and just showing it. And he seems to be hated by both sides.
Yeah, he seems to be
he doesn't put the spin that the other side wanted.
Right. There's a few of these guys that'll follow that whole like culture war bullshit thing.
Andy and Go.
But you could, but like Andy, like that guy is clearly like on the side of the Proud Boys, right?
Yeah.
That's pretty clear. And then I'm sure there's some counterpart that's on the Antifa side of things. But yeah, when I've seen Ford Fisher stuff, it just seems as unbiased and, as unbiased as you can possibly be as a journalist.
Can you blame Andy No, though?
I don't blame him.
You know how important masculinity is in like Asian cultures, and that's about the only thing he's got going for him is like a thumbs up from the Proud Boys.
Oh Jesus!
But yeah, you might say Ford has characteristics of what we might consider good journalism.
Yeah, basically that's my point. He's a good journalist.
This weird thing that it was kind of an idea we used to hear about. Well, that's fascinating. That's interesting.
Like he takes an honest effort to stay out of it.
And to just basically try to show what's going on. He's like, I'm just here showing what's going on, pretty much. Right. I mean, that's all I usually see from him. So, and I guess, that pisses off people that don't want what's going on to be seen. Mm. And a lot of times that is, I guess it's people on both sides of their stupid conflicts. But what I don't really understand is sometimes during these conflicts, they get hostile towards the media, right? We're here to have a protest. Don't film me. Wait, we're in the street to make our voices heard. Don't film me. Like, what?
Well, it's because that's not what it is. They're there to fucking LARP.
Yeah.
And to disrupt and to just to just cause chaos and mayhem.
And loot, maybe. I don't know. Maybe, probably
they want to make sure that they can throw all the trash cans into the Starbucks windows anonymously. You know, that's their main goal.
Well, here's the thing that always confused me about that. Those CDs that they have at Starbucks suck. Like, there's way better places to get your music.
Is that why? Well, that's not why they're breaking the windows, is it?
That's why I'd break the windows any place.
I would at least, you know what? Go for the hazelnut syrup. Just grab a whole bottle of that shit and run.
This shit's only like $15.99 on Amazon.
So
It's not that expensive.
in Philly at the Starbucks at 12th and Market Street, like homeless would just come in and chug out of the half and half bottle. Like that's
Oh,
Nice.
oh. Jesus Christ.
Philly can't have anything nice. And that's like right in the heart of the tourist district. At that Starbucks
so
is like partially in the lobby of a major hotel.
Was it built over Ben Franklin's, old house?
one of his favorite brothels was there. I think.
That's not the one where Hotep Jesus got famous, is it?
No. Yeah, that was the first time I saw Hotep Jesus was in that Starbucks video. He kept demanding free coffee from the Starbucks people, and they kept giving it, and they were giving it to him, and they're like, "Yeah,
the reparations."
I'm black. It's my reparations. Give me coffee." And the girl's like,
"Oh, that's funny as shit."
Absolutely.
Oh my god.
Well,
God.
I never saw that video.
You never seen that?
Oh,
is that what put him on the map?
Yeah, that's his claim to fame.
Damn.
Yeah.
That is.
And this dumb bitch, she was just doing it
and then hating Jews. That was
well.
The other
It's
claim.
funny because if you watch that video, you kind of assume that like he's this flaming leftist. But it's just him taking advantage of this fucking poor little girl. Is like, okay.
Oh God.
And now he gets to talk about arranged marriages.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, he is a big fan of that. God, dude, this world's a fucking nightmare. Like, I swear to Christ. But it has to make you laugh. Just the sheer stupidity of all of it. It's funny.
I don't know.
Man.
It's the kids thing that makes it tough to laugh at. Like I want to laugh because like I've lived my life and like done the shit I wanted to do for the most part, and then I'm like, God. But then like, what does my kid get left? Like scraps. Speaking of which, did you guys catch Jack on fucking Tim Pool?
Dorsey?
No,
Jack
not
who?
that Jack. I can't ever remember his last name. He's the guy that has the big fucking beard and like it's white down the middle.
I thought that was Jack Dorsey.
No.
Yeah, isn't that Jack Dorsey?
No.
Dude's got a long beard.
With the white stripe in it.
Wait,
yeah.
the
But no,
voluntarious Jack? That guy?
No.
Not Jack Lloyd.
Dude, I seriously can't remember dude's name. But
I don't know, dude.
I don't watch Tim Pool, so no.
Tim Pool, like sometimes he's good and sometimes I just want to punch him in the mouth and like break his head open.
Oh,
and then I
not
ask,
that far, no.
well, I'm imagining that we're playing Roblox here.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Thanks for clarifying.
Yeah, but in this video, he's like, they're talking vaccine mandates, and Jack's thing is, he's like, I've been pretty insulated, but about to be really not insulated in that. He's like, my kids are going to be forced to get them if they want to play varsity sports. Like this thing that they've done their entire life. And Tim's like, we'll just have them stop doing it. They don't do it anymore. Like, have them give it up.
That's not how it works.
And he's just completely not like understanding like how important that is, both developmentally and emotionally to the kids.
Yeah, but it's still the right answer. I mean,
I mean, I'm not like, I'm at the point like, if I'm not gonna let my kid, I'm gonna actually like make sure that they go their life without getting this vaccine.
Jack's position sucks more because he's got an ex-wife, and the ex-wife determines what's gonna happen.
Ooh, yeah,
and that he can't.
Yeah,
but that's a different problem.
Yeah, yeah, my kid would never been in that situation.
You lost control. You lost parental control. Good job.
He didn't sign the prenup.
But, well, I mean, that might be a good prenup. Our kid will never set foot in government school. Fuck you, right?
Yeah.
Like, signed and agreed
Underline
upon.
the fuck you. Underline the fuck you. Italics and bold.
Like, never, our child will never step foot in any of that bullshit ever. I mean, that seems like if you want to make a commitment, like that would be a good commitment to make.
But that's the ultimate red pill question. Is it like, do you get to force your kid to take the red pill and never give them a chance to take the blue pill? Or is that an option that you should allow them to have when the time comes?
I've let my kids choose their own path pretty much, but I would draw the line if they're like, we want to go to government school. That would be a hard no, and they wouldn't even ask. But if they did, it would be a non-starter, and it's not even up for discussion.
I let my kids experience life as it is, but no, like I won't like when they get older. I it's like same thing with tattoos. Like you're doing something that's permanent, like you wait till just wait. And when you're 18, you want to go out and get back, cool.
You can say the Pledge of Allegiance in government school when you're 18, but until then, you're my house, my rules, and we're anarchists here, and you will not be pledging allegiance.
And mind you, I can't imagine my daughter choosing to go that way. But there, like I said, it's always kind of like I'm like taking away her ability to blend in if she wants to blend in. She's going to be an outcast and exiled because of my choices and not hers. And it's like, is that fair or not? I know which way I'm choosing to take the moral position by my standards, but I do have to question
why does she have to be in exile though? I mean,
well, you're teaching them a whole different group of skills. Like to live life the way we would live it versus the way a normie would live life. Like
well, they have to know both ways. They have to know both ways.
And that's something I've kind of resigned to. It's like, I don't know how to make her learn that other than let her hang out with her cousins more. But
I mean, does she not do anything where she associates with just other children that aren't anarchists?
Well, when you live in a real leftist city, there's not a lot of options for you.
Okay, first of all,
she can't do ballet. She doesn't do anything.
We're working on moving, Babs. Like it's just we don't have the money to get out of the city quite yet. It's like I'm planning 2 years.
Just first step, just bring your kids to PorkFest every year for their whole lives. For the whole lives, from infancy on. All right, just get them there. That's going to help. It's really helped my kids a lot because otherwise, like the shit that they would hear about it would be that's probably some crazy dad shit, right? But at PorkFest, they know there's thousands of people here that are also talking
thousands of dads here.
Crazy dad shit. Okay, like I'm not like you go off with your friends and do this, and do it your way. It's no longer crazy dad shit.
You didn't bring your kids this year, did you, Otto, or did you?
Mm-mm.
Dude, it's the best.
I couldn't afford to bring them all up, and it didn't work out. Which hindsight, I kind of wish I would.
Well, there's time for next year. Like we just, it's like now's the time to plan.
How old are your kids, Otto?
My daughter will be 9 soon. My son's 8.
So they're right about my daughter's age.
My daughter's.
I'll let them have someone to play with.
4. Yeah. No, I mean that's cool and all. I just, man, I know how you're feeling. It's just like, do I want to put this shit on my kids? Like when I'm constantly, because I hear them in the rooms talking about something like just random shit. They'll be like I was talking about saving money, and they're like, well, that's not real money. Like that's not even real money. That's government. That's that's government money or something like. And I'm like, do I really want to? Do I want to make them like the actually kids in school when they're just like, well, mom,
yes, you do.
No, you got to take their piggy bank and smash it against the wall and say, "Fuck the federal
not in that
Reserve."
School. Like they shouldn't have to be that way in school. Cancel the school part.
My son already didn't want to do the Pledge of Allegiance, and he was this was when they were doing distance learning, and the teacher was asking kids to you lead us in this, like how people in Catholic school they used to say lead us in prayer. They were like in government school they were like, oh, lead us in prayer to the flag. And my son was like, I don't want to do that. So he said that's dumb, and I didn't want to do that.
I'm chill. I'm gonna be over here, Pete.
Otto, somebody's got to be like, dude, why the hell would your kid be subjected to that kind of bullshit?
Right. And so I'm like, dude, we're getting they're out. Well, that shit. I'm so happy.
Are you guys? Why aren't you homeschooling yet?
We're doing the distance learning for the time being, and then once they don't offer that anymore, we're just doing full homeschool. My wife's finishing up her last semester. She's finishing up her last semester of school So once she gets out, we'll have way more time to start doing all this other stuff, and even we might actually have money to send them to private school, so that might be an option too.
Or just let them run wild.
Yeah, I don't know about the private school, man. They have to go through so much of the government mandates themselves.
My kids would never take me up. I'm like on the offer, like, hey, if you just want to run wild, that's fine. Like, you want to go to private school, like, or you want to homeschool, or you just want to be like let loose. Like, you tell me. They're like, well, we want to go to school. You know,
that's what that's what my kids are always like. They kind of want to go back to classroom. Like, well, you're not going back to that. You're not going back inside a government school. Like, that's like, if you go to a private school, that's one thing, but I'm not sending you back to a government school. Like, it's just not happening.
Absolutely not.
And, I mean, that'll never happen, ever. And I'm glad that my wife's on board with that. I'm like, and I'm just, it's cool that like this whole COVID thing provided this opportunity to know that they can be, well, like they can actually learn at home, and it gives us the confidence to move forward with.
I mean, and you're still doing that shitty distance learning stuff. Even like you're not even doing good homeschooling. Like, so that's dude. The sky's the limit.
I'm constantly talking my kids' ear off about things, even just like pointless stuff. Not even libertarian stuff. Just like,
I wasn't disputing that. It was
you're like that guy in the
government teachers at all.
You're like the guy in the stadium meme, like talking in his girlfriend's ear, except it's like your kid.
Yo, God, that means fucking hilarious. So I've been doing that, and they're actually doing real well. Like, my son's doing awesome because he can learn at his own pace, really. And like my son, like last year when they were doing distance learning, they were like, oh, he's already reading at a second grade level, so we're gonna put him in like higher classes. And he was, and like my daughter was in terrible moods. She came back because she went to like kindergarten and first grade in class, like in person, and she'd come back in terrible moods. She was tired, she was grumpy, she was miserable. But then like being at home, she doesn't experience any of that, and she's excelling real well. Like, so we're just gonna keep it going. What works. And then once they finally say, oh no more distance learning, like, well, then we're just homeschooling. Like, we'll just continue on this path. That's just kind of what's working for us right now. But I know people have been saying like how, because I mean, oh shit, like, do you guys hear like the bus shortages? Have you guys been hearing these stories?
I've been seeing the signs up that say like that are trying to recruit people to drive buses.
Like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Well, it's because who drives the buses? The people that don't want to get vaccines.
Right.
You know what? The more, when they get more desperate for bus drivers, they have to dig a little deeper, do a little less background check, get a few more crack whores, get a couple more child abusers. You know, like,
they have the National Guard. Actually, the National Guard is stepping in and driving school buses. Did you hear about that?
Wow.
The National Guard.
Well, the national propaganda must continue. Okay.
I know, right?
Like, why wouldn't you deploy the soldiers to make sure that the indoctrination of the youth? I mean, where else is the next generation of National Guard going to come from if the National Guard doesn't drive them to the indoctrination camp to teach them
I hadn't even
that's
thought
just
about
legit?
Is this how they're going to solve the national nurse shortage? They're just going to send the National Guard into hospitals?
I have actually. You're not far off. I'm pretty sure that story's already out there. Pretty sure that's been somewhere.
I mean, it's not far away from it. And the funny thing about this, these parents are like, I'm in all these like local groups, like just around my town. They're all complaining like, oh my God, my little son had to wait at the bus stop, or had to be wait at the bus stop for like an hour to get picked up. And he, you know, and then actually it comes to find out that the bus canceled and couldn't get there because there was no one to drive the buses, and he couldn't be in school, and I didn't know what to do. And I'm like,
say thank you. That's called a day of salvation for the kid. Okay, that's one day they're not going to hurt your child. Okay,
that's not what they're thinking. She's thinking, but you took away a day of my free childcare.
Yeah,
that's exactly it.
I can't go do crystal meth by myself.
When everybody knows that you really can do crystal meth with a kid there, okay, you don't have to pawn them off to the state. Okay, if you really try, okay, make an effort for God's sake.
But you don't get to pretend you're a good parent when you do that. Like, if you only do the crystal meth when the kid's not there, you can still live in your own moral superiority.
Right.
The kid is still better off than dropping them off in a prison camp.
Facts. Hashtag.
Do I have strong feelings about government schools? Can you tell? I mean,
you're like Arvin Vor over here. That's like Every post will talk about like they're like, so we ended the war, but we still have government schools.
Well,
so
you joke about that.
It's a
Babs.
key.
Still
It's
have
a
our
key
war on
thing.
children.
No, it's a key to me. This is one of the key strongholds of the enemies of freedom. It is a key stronghold, and you can't just ignore it.
Well, you make a point about it. That's literally how I found my way to the whole libertarianism like thing. Like I'd had some background where I was into Chomsky and stuff. Like it kind of got me opening my mind. But it was literally watching a video that Ron Paul put out about like the education system and like its insolvency financially. That kind of really got me into the whole libertarian world, and because I was like, oh, this guy's speaking some actual truth. This all sounds like what I actually saw in college. And and that's how I found my way here is because of how fucked up the school system was. So it's like I was always an anti-war person, and I could have stayed, with the Green Party fighting the war forever. But they didn't have an answer for me about the school system. That's what I got from libertarians.
Well, the libertarians have the only answer. When I learned about libertarianism, like early on, I was fortunate to come across Marshall Fritz and the Alliance for the Separation of School and State. And he basically laid out all the logic for just a total separation without question, annihilated any kind of voucher thing, any kind of like gradual anything. He just like, get your kids out, get your kids out, get your kids out. You're not going to save it, and I was fortunate. And like, I think that we got to focus on that, because way too many people are like, well, we want to make it better. We're going to save it. We're going to save government schools. Like once I hear somebody talk about improving their government school or going to their school board meeting and trying to make that school better.
You can't save something that's just fundamentally built on immorality, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
right.
you're talking about
it's funded meeting to disrupt it.
Yeah,
but
just
to bring havoc.
Yeah,
but do not think you're going to fix it.
I mean, it's funded through theft. It's you're mandated to send your kids there unless you find some alternative, right? I mean, the whole thing is force, like from top to bottom. It's founded on force.
You'd be trying to save it from like its only stated goal.
Yeah, I mean, it's just it's like we want to make the serial killers better. Like we want to reform the serial killers. Like that's what we want to do, guys.
Yeah, we want to have more fiscally responsible child indoctrination camps.
Yeah.
So speaking of making things better, you guys can make this podcast better is if you sign up for our Patreon. That was a terrible one, but you gotta shoot your shot. Yeah. So whatever. Well, we're coming up to an hour. Well, shit, we're over an hour. We're gonna have an after hours podcast right after this where we just continue to talk shit about the government and all sorts of fun, goody stuff. It's actually the last 3 episodes that I've been a part of. Like the after hours was better than this stuff, this cheap shit that you're not paying for.
Well, that's because it's for Patrons who paid at least $1. Okay, this is what you get for free shit. This is the free shit, right? It's like that first level of the app. We're like here, and then they start, and then it's like, well, you want the next level, you got to pay.
It's like if you go into Burger King, right? Like you can get water for free, but like you're not getting that good like root beer shit, right?
Well, unless you ask for the free.
You get no onion rings.
Unless you're what's his name, and you just Hotep Jesus and you go in and start screaming.
Well, and to put it into perspective, like listening to one episode of Punk Rock Libertarians is a -5 on your social credit score.
That's right.
After Hours is a -25. Okay. Yeah. So it's like
and social credit's like golf.
Yeah.
You're going for the lowest score possible.
Yeah, that's just true. So sign up for our Patreon. Go over there. We have different tiers. If you do, you can listen to all the back, all the back catalog of stuff that we have. Lots of backlog. There we go. That's the word. You can hear me mispronunciate things and not say the right word all the time. But so if you don't want to use Patreon, there's other ways to donate to our show. If you go to prlfans.com, you can check that out. Also, we have sponsors. We have Wheelie's Pharmacy. If you use the code PRL10, you get 10% discount on all of your CBD needs. So please check that out. We also have t-shirts for sale. T-shirts for sale. God, what the hell is wrong with me? I can't talk. I think I hurt my brain.
What kind of
shirts? She-shells by the she.
What kind of shirts are they? I didn't know we had shirts. What kind of shirt is it?
Over at libertariancountry.com, you can check out our Punk Rock Libertarians t-shirts. If you use the code PRL or PRL Podcast, you get yourself a 10% discount. Use the code PRL2 and get yourself a 20% discount if you spend $50 or more. We're also brought to you by Hidden in Plain Sight by Moral Bob. And until next time, live free
or die.